Hello everyone, I'm here with a kind of weird video today. So what I just watched was the Unlucky Tug video, one fact for every episode of the classic era of Thomas. And because I'm doing a lot of character compilations right now on my YouTube channel, I've been searching for many characters to do. And because I'm searching for many characters to do, I may have learned one or two facts about them, but they're all mainly from the CGI era. So what I decided to do was to go through every CGI character from Thomas and Friends and come up with one little fact that you may not have known about them. Let's get into it. According to the Japanese dub of Blue Mountain Mystery, this guy on screen, who is not the Fat Controller nor the Thing Controller, is the controller of the Japanese railway, and he was the one who sent Hero over to Sodor. Victor is one of the only narrow gauge engines who is not owned by Mr. Percival, but the Fat Controller instead. Kevin is the only new character to be introduced in Hero of the Rails who doesn't come from a different country. Charlie's number 14 could have been inspired by Charles Welton, or it could have been inspired by the fact that he was the 14th standard gauge engine in the CGI series. Captain does, what does Captain do again? He uses the chassis to get in the water. Great. Ferdinand's lamp would later be reused for Red Rosie. Bass and Dash travel much faster in the TV series than their bassist travels in real life. In the 20th series, Scruff gained a little lamp on his head. Flynn has had many voice actors over his run in the show. His first voice actor was Rupert Dagus, then it was Ben Small, then after that it was Kerry Shell, and then to end it all off it was Robert Axel. Bell was never stated to be part of the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre team until King of the Railway. Den is the leader among the Diesels when Diesel 10 isn't around. Dart is the first standard gauge diesel engine to have a two-toned horn. According to the Writer's Bible of 2013, Norman and Dennis have canonically met, but that was never shown on screen. In the Day of the Diesel song, Sydney was the only character who wasn't mentioned. Paxton's name was first heard in the Day of the Diesel song, and his name did not appear at all in the actual movie. Winston bears resemblance to, and may have been inspired by the mainland inspection trolley from the magazine The Strange Sighting. In early concept art, it shows that Merrick was originally going to be named Bradley. Owen originally was never meant to exist, and Merrick would have had a pal working with him called Bud. They would have controlled the incline where Owen works. Luke was Michael League's last acting role before he quit acting. According to Sam Wilkinson, Stafford was originally going to have a different name. Sadly, his old name has never surfaced online. Unlike the real Stephenson's rocket, Stephen seems to run on coal instead of coke. Caitlin says the name of Hilary Fordman's granddaughter. Hilary Fordman was a member of the Audrey family. Connor's wooden railway prototype is just Spencer coloured in Connor's colour. It looks so weird, oh my god. Millie, surprisingly, is actually the only engine in the franchise who is from France. Porter is the second engine in the franchise to have 3 domes, the first one being Rosie. Reg's voice gets slightly higher pitched in season 19. Take a listen.
Oh, hello, Percy. No worries. When the next engine comes along, I'll pick up a brightly coloured piece of scrap and wave it about.
And then in season 24, it's back to normal.
Oh,
OK, Emily, you can let go now.
What is wrong with your voice, Reg? Marion is the only character Toad has actually said Miss insert their name here for.
Miss Marion.
Timothy shares the first name of his voice actor. Gator's whistle is just Charlie's whistle but 7 pitches lower. The Slipcoaches are the first characters since Harold the Helicopter in Season 2 to have embroidered faces. Samson was named after Sam Wilkinson, who was the railway consultant for Thomas and Friends. Judy and Jerome are the first non-human twins who are shown to be different genders from each other. Glyn is the 4th character in the franchise who was saved from scrap. Ryan is the only new engine in the movie who wasn't created by Wilbur Audrey. Rex is the first engine since City of Churro to not have a wooden railway model. Mike has the most merchandise out of all the engines on the miniature railway. Bert has stated to be younger than Rex and Mike, though his basis is actually older. Before Skiff's sign said Skiff's Sailing Tours, it actually said Skiff's Railroad Tours. Even though Philip is an American engine, he has never spoken with an American voice. Even though Shane's basis is an oil burner, in the show he runs on coal. Rajib's name means lotus flower in several Indian languages. Young Bao's name means brave treasure in Mandarin. Carlos was in a deleted scene in Big World Big Adventures, which was very, just see for yourself.
Oh, I see. A sun worshipper. We used to have proper sun worshippers in Mexico. And you know what their faces look like? This.
Who approved this? Why, in our modern, accepting planet, would someone approve something like that? It's very possible Vinny won the strongest engine competition as he was in front of everyone there. Etienne isn't the only engine with that name, as when Peter Sam worked on the Mid-Sodor Railway in the Italian dub, he was called Etienne too. Ivan is the only named diesel in the show to not get a wooden railway model. Gina's name means queen in Italian. Frida is the only female character introduced in the Great Race not to be a tank engine. Raul is painted in the colours of a Brazilian flag to represent which country he's from. Axel says the same whistle sound as Luke. Ashima is the only character whose voice actor stayed to voice her in Big World Big Adventures. Bradford's theme is based on the 1963 movie The Great Escape. Hugo was the last wooden railway character to ever be made until Wooden Railway's revival in 2021. According to Sam Wilkinson, Hurricane's face was inspired by Channing Tatum. Frankie was originally going to be green before they landed on her being a sort of blue colour. The voice that Colin McPhair gave Beresford sounds very similar to Joanne, a character from The Adventures of Captain Pugwash, which he also worked on, and which the Brit Allcraft Company also worked on as well.
I can grow plants and flowers. Oh, you think so? Oh, man. Rabies!
Lexi is the only forward cab engine in the franchise. Merlin's name is the third based on the name of his bassist, King Arthur, reflecting on the magical wizard who would work alongside King Arthur, Merlin. Theo was written with the intentions of being autistic, but the Mattel crew have never officially announced it. Hannah was the first character produced by Mattel Creations. Carly is the first character to be based off a machine built in the 21st century. Okay, everyone, to make me not want to punch myself really hard, I have decided to only take into account the Big World, Big Adventures characters who have names. This will still be tough, but at least I'm only doing the ones that have names. In some early design art, it shows that Nia was originally going to be called Cassie. Carter's model is just a reworked model of Beresford with Merrick's face on him. Also, Thomas calls this guy Mr. Crane like he does with Beresford. Just point that out. It's a nice bonus. The number that Ace carries, 43, is the same number carried by NASA legend Richard Petty, the King. Did I pronounce that right? I don't know. In prototype biographies of Boo, it said that Thomas saved him after he was abandoned. However, this doesn't happen in the movie. Kwaku's name is an Akan name for people born on Wednesdays. Akan is an African language, by the way. Natalie's name was Amy in the Big World, Big Adventures movie storybook. It's possible that this was her original name. Shankar's model is just a reworked version of Ivan's model. Tony is the first male character to receive eyelashes in the show. Angelique is the only female car in the movie who was given a name. No, literally, that's all I can think of as a fact for her. In a promotional image, it shows that Cassia still has the side plate of Carly on her, as a reference to that her model was a reworked version of Carly. Thomas and Friends Adventures is the only source of media and merchandise to refer to Cobb by name. Ferdinand's model is just a reworked version of the mainland Diesel's model. Sam has 20 wheels, or 34 counting his tender wheels, and he has the most wheels of anyone who has ever visited or worked on Solo. Emerson's name means Son of Armory. Hong Mei's name means beauty in Mandarin. Rebecca was originally going to be called either Miranda or Charlotte. Charlotte may have been a reference to Sam Wilkinson's former partner. Despite being of Australian descent, Tamaka's name is delivered from a Japanese word tamu, meaning sweet. Noor Jahan's name means light of the world. Annan and Ying Long are both reworked models of Annie. Aiden is the second character to be voiced by a writer on the show, the first one being Lady. This coach does, we're having another captain, but this time there is no trivia at all. Captain had some trivia, but they were all really boring trivia, but this one has no trivia. I'm just going to move past this one. According to Amazon Prime's description of the episode School of Duck, it says that Dexter was actually a restaurant car. Lee is the first truck since Hector to have an actual name. Isla's model is just a reworked version of Emerson's model. Gabriella is the only Brazilian Thomas character to speak in all the episodes set in Brazil. Gustavo's Trackmaster model incorrectly has coupling rods. Esther is the third excavator in the series, the others being Alfie and Oliver. Brenda is the only pack member who doesn't have any merchandise to herself. Darcy is the only pack member with a prominent eyelash. Stefano's back wheel is reused from Butch, but it's upside down this time. Lorenzo is the first engine in the franchise to have a Z in his name. Beppy's name was originally going to be Peppy. Some of Cleo's clogs were reused from Theo. Sunny was the second character to be owned by an antagonised human. The first one was Skiff. Kenji is the fastest engine in the series. Duchess's number 2020 was a reference to the year she was introduced.
Well, that was more info on
Rubber character.
than I ever needed to know.
And there we have it. One fact about every Thomas character. I may have missed a few, but if I missed a few, leave them down in the comments. Anyway, that's all from me, everyone. See you next video.